Sunday. Great day to each and every one of you. Give thanks for our spirit dancer in the house today. Rejoicing with us in spirit as we usher in the Spirit of God, as we usher in the ancestors, as we usher in ourselves in this time, in this space, to just take time to go inward, to take time to connect to spirit, to take time to be present and available to fulfill our life's mission. Ashe, great day.
Indeed. And we solidify this experience as we go within with the breath, unifying ourselves inside and out, as we settle into ourselves in this present moment. By simply taking a deep breath in through the nose and releasing out through the mouth. Another deep breath in through the nose, and releasing out through the mouth. Breathing in slowly and gently in through the nose. And gently relaxing while releasing out through the mouth. Ashe. And as we center ourselves into ourselves, we wish to verbally give thanks for this moment in time and place and space to come together as one in one to experience one. As we give thanks to all forms of our higher selves, Source Energy, Mother, Father, God, the Pulp, the Through, the Risha, the Ifa, Ascended Masters, angels, archangels, deities, benevolent ancestors, and spirit guides, all the participants of this journey. And as we open this portal, we specifically take this moment to call upon our ancestors that have physically walked this earth as we unite our will, our desire for peace, balance, prosperity, harmony amongst our people. So to unite heaven and earth with the waters of the earth, I invite you to call out the names of your ancestors wherever you are. And say Ashe as we open up to their guidance at this moment. You may begin. Ashe. Ashe. Flora Hall. Bertha Tucker. Mal Tucker. Ashe. Ashe. So it is, so shall it be. Welcome, all seen and unseen.
I don't know, I just feel like we should just do another round this drum. Yes, that felt good in the soul. That felt good in the soul. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how we show up in public and are we true to ourselves. Sometimes, sometimes when we are in our own space, we may behave a certain way or conduct ourselves a certain way at home because we don't want people to know certain things about us out in public. Some people, but in looking and reflecting in self, trying to decide, am I being true? Should I say, considering, am I being true to myself in all spaces at all times? Or am I always putting out a different avatar? For different situations. And it's like, just in cultural and just being brought up in society, there were things that you did, There was some things, I don't know if your mom ever said to you, what happens in this house stays in this house, that type of mentality, which kind of inbreeds secrecy of some sort that says, well, what we've done should not be made public. Just click around the room. And you all can chime in online. Welcome and thank you for those of you who are online. I can't see, but I see there's someone there.
Yeah, give shout out to Precious Mother Love and Queen Mother M. Backy's in the house.
Yes. So just a quick time. Is there an appropriate time to be different? Is there a time to hide a part of yourself? I'm gonna send that to you first.
Absolutely.
All right.
Because my person holds the vibration, holds the philosophy of yes and no. Creation, my person sees creation is an experience in yes and no at the same time. Hence the yin yang symbol. Yes and no at the same time. And so what my person is looking to do with this information is to sit in the space of presence, his presence, being present right now. And in this space of being present, my person shall intuit on what to do, if it's a yes or a no in this moment in time, place, and space. So it is a yes and a no, depending upon what spirit says, how to show up, whether to speak or not to speak, to share or not to share, to be transparent or not be transparent in the moment. So give thanks my person, main spirit God, to Hute, Walter Hute, Jehute, baby. For the yes and the no, for the law of correspondence. In a nutshell.
We're gonna ask you the same question, Hatshepsut.
So the question is, how
do you feel that there's a time to hide something, or
show up differently?
Right, in different spaces.
I mean, if you had asked me this pre-2014, I probably would have said yes, because I was still in that mindset of what's proper, as people say, politically correct words, this kind of thing. So yeah, 2014. Before that, I probably would have said yes. But I realized that I understand, I understand the chef when he says yes and no. It's how, if you are really tapped into your ancestors, they're going to tell you how to show up. And I think I had given an example when I came here once before, when I had to get fingerprinted in West Virginia, and was met with what we call them Karens. Okay. Now, on the one hand, somebody would say, well, will you being your authentic self? And being your authentic self is, I know you're not going to let her get away with that. And your lower vibration or your ego would probably tell you to do that. But what spirit or ancestors kept saying to me, they said, but you have a need here. There's something that she needs to give you. So what we're asking you to do is to show up calm and in control of yourself. Because we know that Hatshepsut can come out. We already know that. But we're asking Hatshepsut to remain in a calm like state, what have you. Because she has something you need. So in that instance, yes, is there a time and place? Now, at some point, then you give her an education, after you get what you need from her, and then you politely say, you know what, ma'am, it would really behoove you to really think about being pleasant to people. You are in a position of when you work with the public. If you are not aware that you are showing partiality to people who look maybe a little darker than you may want to reflect on it. I know I'm being humorous, but usually after we get a need, you're gonna really tell them, be really blunt about, you need to check yourself. But in that case, I didn't do it. I was like, no. And what she saw the ancestors move, because my background came back in 1 hour. They usually take a week. So she saw a dip. So it was no need for me to, show up differently than I did. So I kind of, I do not I agree with that, yes and no. Because we're listening to ancestors, they're going to tell us how to show up. Do we always get it? No. But I pray that I answered the question.
Right. You did. I was sitting here thinking about, the poem "We Wear the Mask" came to mind when I was driving this morning. And I was just thinking that the mask is who we become in every different situation, and I have been working on just being authentic. And what I got in the drive is being authentic in the moment.
Exactly.
In the moment. So who I am from moment to moment isn't the same.
Exactly.
So why would I think I would be a certain way all the time? And so my mind being, not being double-minded and being, steadfast and unmovable, all of the things that I grew up with, taking that deeper, when you are true to yourself, you are steadfast, when you know who you are, whose you are, and whom you are, and how you are true to yourself. And so you are not easily moved when you are true to yourself. And for a long while, I have been searching, for teachers and, looking to get information from people, confirmations, get enlightenment outside of self. And driving home last night, early this morning from outing with some friends. It was raining pretty hard. It was dark, and I'm on a highway. Situations I don't like, and was finding it challenging to see. And so I just took a breath, and then I remembered myself on the side of the mountain, driving to New Orleans, and how terrifying that was with no guardrail and trucks behind me leering on the horns because they want me to move faster. And at some point, I altogether stopped, took a breath, took a while, and then began to drive again. While in driving last night, I was thinking, what have you already gotten through? What have you already made it through? Is this fearful person you? In moments, it has been. So I had to acknowledge, yeah, I have fear. I've had moments where I sat in the fear. Okay, great. That has been a thing. But now, what do you do to address this fear? You in the car. You safe. It's moving. You can get all the way over to the slow lane if you want. I'm sure the other cars would appreciate it. Right. So I moved over to the slow lane, and all of the cars are just flying by. I'm driving 55, on 295 or 495, whichever of those roadways was. I was driving 55 on it coming home. And as I began to just be grateful, literally going through my mind, I had a good time today. I am so grateful. The show was great. I loved it. Having the food with friends that I hadn't spent time with in a minute, I loved it. So it was like I was focusing on the things that I enjoyed, and I had no more fear. I didn't have time and energy to feed that fear. And before I knew it, I was coming upon the exit to get off to, I'm almost home. And I was like, totally different experience. Being true to myself in the moment and not trying to be so deep. Oh, if I'm spiritual, I wouldn't be feeling this way. But we are human, so we feel some things. But what do we do in that moment? How true are we to ourselves in that moment? I've allowed people to, correct me on many different occasions and sat back and then sometimes just yielded from myself to appease whoever was speaking in their correction. And thought about that. It was like, if I don't agree with the correction, I'm going to then speak in my moments. Hey, I'm not feeling that. I'm not even in that space. And maybe for me in this moment, I need to play out whatever it is I need to play out to get to my next space. Because I can't allow someone else to define me in their moment. Because a lot of times when people are coming at us, they're projecting their own stuff. They're projecting their own issues. And so they attribute their issues to your situation. And now you're trying to appease yourself to the burden of that person that really hasn't anything to do with you personally. So being okay with saying, that's not applicable to me.
When I've been really meditating and reflecting on lately, and when I say lately, I ain't talking about like just recently, this has been a while. What we understand is that we have lost, when I say we, I'm talking about Melanie, we really lost who we were. So when you ask that question at an appropriate time, and what I've been reflecting on is who's appropriate time. Who said that's my appropriate time? Who says that is normal? And I actually do say this to my clients. They'll come, I have a couple that'll come in and I'll just say, I just want to get back to being normal. And I asked them, I said, well, what does that mean to you? Because, and especially we as melanated people, we have been unadulterated in spells, okay? Like when you see certain words, not all, let's just say all the words. And you realize that, oh my God, I've been in this spell. the spell of normal. But who says it? What you may think is normal, you know. But we had this is all still tying. We were in a staff meeting. One of my colleagues said from one of her clients is spiritual, but they have diagnosed her with schizophrenia, and she was concerned about how to really approach the client because the client was holistic. So I'm sitting in the staff. I said, "Well, if she's schizophrenia, then I'm schizoaffective disorder." They started, but they don't have a holistic approach, or I am attempting to have one. So I'm starting to reflect on that. Like, you know what? These are spells. Words are spells. They're not the words that our language, if we really dug back, that's why, you know, I really enjoy that book, the Netter, because it talks about what those words mean, you know, what our words were, or our language before you brought in the European language. So when we say what's appropriate, what is appropriate? And the only way that we're going to, in my humble opinion, that we're going to really begin to understand what that is when you talk to the ancestors and the spirit guides talk to you and say, Precious, this is what's normal for you. Master Chef, this is your normal. So basically, I said, I wish I could just throw all the words, we could throw all these words away and really get back to the language that we knew. Because our language spoke on nature, you know, the earth, not all these, you know, I've seen people on Facebook say, it really irritates me when people put Y-O-U-R instead of Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, your and your. And I sit there and laugh, I'm like, well, who say they wrong? You know, we've been conditioned because we know that's a contraction for you are. Well, but who said that? Because we don't challenge things. Now, I mean, that sounds very trivial, but to think about, I'm like, so why am I wasting my time putting that on Facebook when that's not really our language? You know, I mean, I'm just beginning to see words are really spells. You know, just I'm really being cautious about when you talk to someone, they say, how you doing? When I share with you, and you told me, I said, I'm maintaining. You know, I'm making sure I ain't saying, because I know where I might be at that time. And so instead of me like, oh, I'm great, I'm maintaining. That's where I am right now. Call me tomorrow, maybe somewhere else, you know.
And I just want to add to that. That's a wonderful way of circumventing, you see, what on one hand could be an issue or problem because of the language, you know, that we use. And a vaccination or a suggestion to that, as your person admitted to, is even though we use these words, be more intentional in how we choose to use them. For example, your person say grand rising, correct? Because of the whole morning thing, correct? And so your person is already engaged in shifting, you know, recasting or casting his own spells. Right. So congratulations on that. And as you hold on to what you are doing, what they're doing wouldn't be as effective because the focus is on what you're doing, which is you're remixing, mixologist. You got the remix going on, baby. Mm-hmm. And I want to share also, Precious Mother Love had made sure to come in a little while ago here. I'm going to pull it up on the screen so it's a little easier to see. She says, experience and experience. Inside is hidden, but can be external. If you are non-judgmental and only observant, you can see, feel, hear more sides of the bigger picture. To inner, over, and outer stand. From the love and non-love energies. Less emotional, more Spock-like in the observation. Controlling the response to external is always a choice what to do with the data received. So from a loving and harmonious place is my choice. The lessons come as blessings and expand into the big picture. There you have it.
Something you said, that was a nice little nugget, and choosing your words, being intentional with the words that we speak. I am finding over the past long that I didn't have as much to say, throughout the day. And I've been making organize. And as I'm preparing to organize, I'm getting downloads and information. It's like I was doing organized with different deities and just getting information and connecting to the energy of what I'm making with the pyramids. A couple of pyramids I had started before I allowed myself to be open. I was instructed to start those because it was energetically me just throwing stuff in from not what I knew and understood, but hearsay, so to speak. And so I was making these hearsay pyramids. And then what Spirit guided me to was really connecting and understanding that each piece that I'm making and preparing comes with healing, comes with some form of outreach. And if I'm giving it that intention, when I create it, that energy is then passed on to whoever received the piece. And so when I'm using crystals and putting things together, now that's with the intent. These particular crystals bring about this type of healing. So I'm going to make sure everything that's going in this space bring about that healing. That's the beauty of receiving within your spirit, opposed to a whole bunch of conversation. This person said this, or I said this, or I think it's this, or it should be this. But intuiting within myself and being very comfortable in my skin, going forward. It's like hiding self has been not wanting to present in ways that make people think, oh, she thinks she all of that. Oh, she, any type of arrogance. And that has been my concern up until this week. Last strong, should I say. That has been my concern. Well, I wanted to be liked, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be loved. And really, really get to a place of I love me. And can't nobody love me better than I love me, besides my creator. So with that understanding, moving in self-love allows me to flow in peace and harmony with all around me, because I'm not here to change or control anyone. I'm here to be myself. And myself is going to affect different people in different ways. And so it's not me looking to control or change, but to be myself and let their experience be whatever they want their experience to be. Because I also know we create our experiences. If you are having a bunch of grief or disharmony with somebody, think about the part that you are playing to create that disharmony. Because if you're giving to it, if you're feeding it, it's on you. It's not on the other person. We can't control what people do, but we can control how we respond. And in controlling how we respond, it really does control what people do. And so our intent isn't about the other person. It's about ourselves. And we're going to get with the results that we need. We're going to get the appropriate results to situations, just in how we carry and maintain
Jay. Not at the moment. Yeah.
I was going to say, when you're a light worker, you show up in the assignment, that task at hand. So you may show up as the healer one day, and the counselor the next day, or the I want to say friend, but I'm gonna say sister or brother. We're connected spiritually, so And that's how. So that's when you show up. So it's like waking up today, and or when you start your day and asking the ancestors, how am I supposed to show? How do I show up today? I used to look at this show called New Amsterdam. It was about a fledgling hospital. One thing I liked about this, he was the medical, he was a head doctor.
He was a doctor in the country that
Right.
he came from.
And he would always say, how can I help? And I used to love that. I said, you know what? I like that. And they would, people were coming at him with many needs because of that hospital. And he would always say, how can I help? I said, you know what? I'm going to say, I like that. Grand Rising, how can I help?
Yeah, so how my person is using that with the yes and no is open up to spirit. How are we supposed to show? How to show up now? Because of the yes, no, is it the protagonist or the antagonist? Because sometimes people require to be either one, based upon where they are in their journey. So, it all comes from source. It all comes from, that guidance. So, and he uses everybody. That's what they say. God uses everybody. So
it calls the rocks to cry.
But what really fascinated me was one time when I was in a spiritual class with Libation, and we were talking about people's assignment. And she was sharing with our class that, people are assigned to be what they are. And because I'm doing my journey, and I said, really? And so I was challenging her, and I said, what if somebody come out here and rob a bank? Because we were talking about good and evil. And she said, okay. She was just calm, and she's like, okay, and your point. I said, well, would that be considered evil? She said, the person was assigned to come and do just that. Then we got into Hitler. Because I went to the worst person ever, and she calmly and she's like, so she said, first of all, do you really know that happened? Number one, and number two, and that was his assignment. And it took me a while to get that. Queen Mother, we talked about something one time, and somebody had transitioned, and and society would have thought the person was too young. And I remember, and I don't know who we were talking about, and Queen Mother said, and I said, well, what's your thoughts on that? And she said, well, I don't really can't have any thoughts because I don't know that person's journey, and that who was to say that they were not supposed to transition in? And I was like, you know what? She is so right. Because we're so programmed, somebody 5 years old, or they put that commercial on TV, St. Jude's Hospital, and you see the children, and the first thing you go like, oh my God, no. But we don't know what their journey would have been or is at this point. And she said that, and I was like, I'm gonna shift my thinking. She's absolutely correct. Shout out Queen Mother.
Bada bing, bada boom, chakalaka laka. Having a perspective that supports your belief is very empowering. Yeah.
Any more thoughts, any more conversations? Queen Mother, you got anything you want to say this morning? It's like, is she still on?
It's not saying who is on, but there are 4 people viewing at the moment. So, yeah, perspective.
All right.
So as we let this breathe.
I was trying to see So, in summation, what we to take from this, you know, how we in church maybe something to start the week with, take from the week.
I think this week, just being more intentional with words, opposed to just idle conversations, is definitely the shift for me. Being very intentional and being true to self and appearing as self and not appearing as someone needy, not appearing as someone welcoming everybody's opinions. You know, it's like really standing firm in self.
I was telling my cousin, I said, I don't know what I was gonna. I said, you know, it'd be something if all of us would, you know, just to get your cleansing from everything that was told to you and were raised with. Like, you just go on this week, what, 3, 4 months, you know, retreat, whatever, you know, television, you know, cell phone, nothing, you know, it just, you, I was telling her, I said, that you people coming back walking on, you know, walking on air. Everybody else walking on the sidewalk, daylight, because you've allowed yourself to
Comment just came up, and I cannot hear you while you are drumming and talking.
Okay.
I mean, just imagine that kind of being with, and I know we can be with spirit and ancestors anywhere. I get, but if we just was on like a retreat like that, no phone, you know, nothing is that important, and truly tap in. And what you should have said, and greater works than you would do. And I started thinking about stuff like, you know, like that is so true.
Yeah, I would really, really, really like to be in nature near some water for a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would really like to do that. Just with that intent to connect spiritually.
And then you talk about showing up. You like, a chef will come into your house and get my pendant that I ordered, and instead of driving, I transport myself. I teleport myself right to the town. It can be done, and I know it is appearing to sound crazy. That's because a lot of people don't understand that, but it can happen. It really could.
Yes. Just to share my person's perspective on these things, as you said earlier about it feels as though perspective makes a difference. From my person, the perspective is this dimension that we're mainly in, this third dimension, is a dimension of time and space, where it's a process, hence with the farming. We talk about all the time metaphysically planting seeds, nurturing the seeds, allowing the seeds the time to grow. And you know, the seasons, how the seasons change. And so we actually do these things. We go by the water, we go take a retreat. We do these things quite a bit. And so the perspective is the same as Yeshua and his disciples. They walked with the man for 3 years, and they were beginning to do greater things. It takes the discipline, it's the discipline, the day-to-day discipline of one. And that discipline, from again, the perspective is enjoying the process of becoming that what you already are. And by enjoying the process right now, that sustains you. It really does. And as you look back, you'll see, wow, you're closer to becoming that which you came to become than you were some time ago. Again, because it's a time and space, and the more we embrace that, it's the faster those things will come, because we open up in receivership. We open up, in a sense, there's no separation between where we are and where we want to be, because we see ourselves where we are is where we want to be, because right now we're being intentional with everything right now. And as we open up to this is what we're doing, it's trimming the bushes, weeding, whatever we're doing, that analogy for someone who has a garden, who's doing farming, all of our experiences on a day-to-day basis is about tending our own garden on the inside, and then watching the fruit come manifest on the outside. Again, which is the journey of pruning and doing this and doing that in this time space continuum. Otherwise, my personal perspective is we'll be in 5D already, mainly in 5D, where things are instantaneous. Because there is a realm, a dimension of space where, there are beings that reside in that space of instantaneously. And my person finds the beauty of this 3D experience is because we have the best of both worlds. We have the ability to experience Mother, Father, God slowed down so much that we can touch it, him, her, taste it, drink it, feel it, go to the beach, do these things. And we say, oh, this feels so good as we're experiencing source energy in this most densest form, this 3D. And while we're doing this at the same time, we still can instantaneously, as we remember, understand the laws of energy, the universe, how to instantly do these things. We can do those things as well. So again, my perspective is that we're enjoying right now just holding space, that we're enjoying this time and space. We also enjoy those glimpses of how we can instantaneously do those things. And we're not so moved by one of those things instantaneously that we lose the joy of the experience. Oh, we had a good time. We did this. It really is a good journey. Man, we've grown a lot. The friends that we have, the communion that we do, so just focus on things that are moving us in that direction is the perspective that allows us to, enjoy the ebb and the flow. The time on the retreat, and then the time when we're actually in the work to see how we're doing with the information that has come. Because we go get the information, and so our experiences give us biofeedback on how well we've integrated the information. And we say, we passed the test, not passed the test, we use this type of language. Then we go back on this side with, well, that experience could have been a little bit more pleasant, so let's go back on this side, go back here, and then come back out and this is the process of becoming the lotus flower in and of itself. We're all lotus flowers as we come up through this month of densified energies of this and that, so-called good, so-called evil, which both are right here. The resistance. So, and Queen Mother did chime in, says, peace and love, Queen Mother's in the house. All blessings to all that is being unearthed at this season. We are on the move. Yeah, that's that. Mm-hmm. And earlier, Precious Mother Love did mention that going back to the shamanic drumming, she said it helped her person in the spirit, and she saw seemingly slip into your shaman attire. Okay. I'll change. You say I'll change, so I guess.
Yes, that was one of the things that in my last session with the shaman face talked of, going back to drumming more. And I told him, I said, I felt the connection more when I play djembe than when I use sticks or play other drums. It's like when my hand is touching the skin, when I play with the skin, I feel, connected spiritually. And so just this morning, just feeling the just play, and then watching you, go in with the drum and the spirit and dance this morning. The spirit was like, and so when I am true to myself, it allows people to be free in themselves, and it makes for the experience that we had this morning. It was like, to me, this was the equivalent of being in Kojic churches when they shouting and running around the place. It was like, this is our spiritual realm of connecting and being in our divine space this morning. So it's like, yeah, I am, sitting here now going, I need to bring my drum, because in playing my drum, it creates a whole energy.
It does.
You know, because it is my drum. So I get to anoint it and, you know, allow that anointing to come through from my
Oh, give a shout out to brother Don. Don on Stewart.
Oh, it's
Yes.
birthday.
Yeah, Hashem. So he probably heard you just now. He says, my first eye in on this enlightening earths of eternal living. Yes, that's similar. Yeah, I was posted. Yeah. Shout out, good brother Don. Yeah. In fact, was not obedient. Saw a post on Facebook. I think it may have been yesterday. Just scrolling down. I think you may have done maybe outside on a playground, adult playground or something like that. And so it did touch a brother. Well, they was disobedient and just shooting something. You're looking good seeing you. You know, just something to solidify that connection. So give thanks for showing up to remind my person on to be more intentional with following through with the subtle instructions that come to it, such as this, you know, you enjoy it, just say, hey, enjoy it, looking good. That's just that simple. So, you know, give thanks, good brother. We are connected, and yeah, keep up the good work. Love you, bro. Yeah. All right. So in Mbaki, just Queen Mother Mbaki, peace and love, my beloved sister. When you were playing the drums, Spirit gave me some information to give to you. I will give it to you privately when you get a chance. Please call me. You have my number. Ooh. Ooh, well, all right.
We'll call, Mama.
Mm-hmm. That's right. The Spirit is moving the place.
I mean, it is definitely the season of showing up, you know, in our true self. In our true self. That is definitely the season. Last night when the friends I was with took notice of the white, even down to the white umbrella, you know, what I have been doing. I have been in all white since January 16th. And I will be in all white until January 16th comes around again. And it's only in this season that I'm truly getting the essence of why the all white. You know, that I'm truly understanding the true stepping into self, stepping into the gifts that I know that I have, that I have not really walked in. Two nights ago, I was dreaming, and in the dream, it was saying I was saying to Spirit, well, how do I activate the gifts? You know, when are the gifts going to be showing up where I could understand them and how they're supposed to show up? And Spirit kept saying, you already have them. Just do it. I'm like, well, what about the healing? Spirit is like, go heal. You know, and I saw myself in the dream just hugging people and just healing people. And then thought about it. I'm like, well, that is happening.
Exactly. Because I know. We feel like it's got stuff like this big thing is just gonna open in the sky and somebody's gonna say, go forth and do, because we've been conditioned to
right. This is my son, and boom, I'm willfully.
Instead of just they speak to us every day. You know, like you said, how can I help? How can I show up today? You know, no, not how. Ancestors, in what way do you want me to show up today? And I know Queen Mother, she was telling me the other day, a while ago, she said, before she put on a stitch of clothing, she asked them how she's going to show up today. And that's like, that kind of, you know how they used to say in the church, step on your toes. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? You know, motivated. Because I get up and I acknowledge them, but I never say, how do you want me to show up today? I was like, wow, that's very deep.
Mm-hmm. Well, a disciple unto self.
It's above all things. To thine own self be true.
Shakespeare ain't never said true statement.
Yep. You got it from someplace though. That just looks. You know, that was that antagonist that came out. He got it from someplace, you know. By the time he got it, it was still a
right.
ancient, you know. So
Right.
yeah. Nah, we just. Yeah, we give thanks for all things. Yes, as Brother Dunn says, Stella sharpen steel, steel sharpen steel. Yeah, yeah. Maybe on. Maybe there's 3 from Facebook, 2 on from YouTube. So I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll close this out so the drummer can start, since the drummer's already started. So we're gonna officially no more talking.
I was drumming in the dead spaces. Well, not the dead spaces, but drumming in the live
spaces. You know, we do want to make an announcement about the gateway meditation though, because most of everyone who's been watching and those who have not may have should have heard about the gateway meditation by now. We've been doing them every full moon, actually full and new moon. However, the next gateway meditation will be on the 30th. There are 2 full moons in August. So it will be done on the blue moon. Pun intended, because one of the things about the blue moon is the second full moon in the month. It's just 2 full moons in a month. That's a rarity. So it's once in the blue moon, 2 full moons. Nonetheless, something more, just a little pun on, you know, the energies of the full moon and the gateway experience. We are looking forward to being here again at Temple Mother Earth on the 30th or the 29th. Just stay tuned for that. And if there's any thing else that people should feel as though will know about, you know, feel free to. All right. Yeah, that's all that comes to mind now. You know, integration time. You know, once integration, then you can definitely begin with, you know, once again, with the shamanic drumming. Say, did indigenous people have the drums before African? That's the question that Brother Dunn put up.
Say that again?
Did indigenous people have the drum before Africans?
Before Africans. Africans are indigenous people. I'm a little.
Well, maybe either here in the North America or on the continent in and of itself. So, yeah. And that's a good.
Because even when you look at Native Americans, you know, people that we are Native Americans, you know, we are the first people. We are all people, you know. So, and drums has definitely been a part of our language, a part of our gifting, a part of our healings, a part of our revelation. You know, drums have always been a part of that.
Yeah, so I'm one of those things, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
The chicken or the egg, yeah.
Right.
You know, since we are the same people.
Right.
Yeah, we are the same people, so it's just a matter of, you know, would it be? Yeah, and we was on the planet, you know, they say during Pangea time, you know, so before everything separated. So that's a very good question. My person just keep it very light and say yes and no.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Indigenous to the Americans, yeah. So very good question. Well, we'll let Spirit divine and maybe come back next strong with more insight to it. All right, with that being said, we give thanks for this moment of time and place and space for communion. Yes, being on the same page, becoming one with all. And as we become one with all, we give thanks for the time to integrate this. We do this symbolically by the drinking of the libations, the spirits, to the integration of the information that was shared during the communion time. And so for all that was shared out loud, inside, all that we benefit from, may it carry us forward from this day on to build upon. And for this, we simply say, right on, amen, and Ashe. Yeah. And once again, we give thanks for this moment in time of taking space. Come together as one in one, the Spirit is one. Until we call upon you such again, such a way. We close the portal. Did you undo today? Right on. Amen and Ashe.